Hey, welcome to Waking Up to Win.
I'm Annie.
And I'm Chad.
And this is your space for real estate motivation, mindset, and the kind of coaching that pushes you from stuck to a top producer.
We are all about helping agents work on their business, not just run ragged in it.
And we believe there is more than enough room at the top for everyone to win.
Let's dive in.
Hey, Chad.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great.
Awesome.
Hey, you got an inspirational quote for us today?
I do, but I'm super excited to be here because this is episode 1. Are you excited?
Episode 1, I am.
So excited. Of our new and improved podcast, Waking Up to Win. Oh, I should use sound effects on this podcast.
You should.
I meant to stop it, and I played it twice. Sorry. So
Keeping it real.
we're starting off every episode of Waking Up to Win now with an inspirational message, right?
Inspirational message or an affirmation, whatever you would like.
Some kind of positive thought.
And we're throwing that to you because you are Mr. Positivity.
You know me so well. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Today's inspirational message is brought to you by none other than Chad Elledge. I don't chase success. I create it one intentional move at a time.
Oh, that's a good one.
I know.
That fits you very well, too.
Does it?
It does.
Why?
Because you are very intentional. And you are very...
That's a nice way of saying ass. Or cold.
I've been working on my words to not insult you. He's very smart. He has a pretty face.
It's right. It's the full package, boys and girls.
No,
you don't get that very often.
I think that that's a great inspiration because I think that you truly are very logical and you see the big picture. And so while I'm down here sometimes running down rabbit holes and chasing squirrels, you're very intentional and kind of reel us back in. So
I am very
good
intentional in what I do and do pay attention to that. It's hard for me not to see that. I don't know what causes that, but I have a feeling my psychiatrist will tell me at some point. It's funny because it makes me think of you, but for wholly different reasons.
Okay, I was nice, so you be nice.
I am going to be nice,
Okay.
but like it's very like own your story and choose what you do every day, like which is an emotional thought, not a logical one. So it's funny that
Right.
you
I'm
hear
rubbing
that,
off
like,
on you.
yeah, it makes me think of you. So, anyways, but it's the God's honest truth.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot, that really pisses me off when people say that to me.
Say what?
It's the whole like owning it for me. Like that's the important part of that message.
But
like,
what pisses you off?
I create it one intentional move at a time. Success is my creation. And when people aren't successful, it really pisses me off when they walk around going, well, because of so-and-so and because of this and that and because of... Stop.
We agree with that. I agree with that.
I mean, like, just
everything.
Stop.
Right.
First of all, nobody that's successful wants to listen to that shit every day.
Okay.
So
if
not going to stay around you.
This is the line of nice Chad and then crossing over into asshole Chad, you're tiptoeing. You started off with this inspiration and now you're judging people.
They don't call me Iceman for nothing, but it does. It's really, but that's why that is inspirational to me. Is like, I don't chase success. And maybe I'm not even successful, but I don't chase success. I create my own success, what it means to me, one intentional move at a time. So if you think you're not successful, that's probably because you're not successful. But it's your choice. You don't have to think that way. Go create some success. Like,
got it.
I don't know. Just gets under my skin. I don't like people sit around and mope. What is going on in real estate? Notable legal battle that is brewing between real estate brokerage Compass and Zillow. Essentially, Compass is suing Zillow because NAR came out with a clear cooperation and all of that crap, which we've all heard. And then they got sued for hiding commission rates, which they've admitted no wrongdoing to. But we've changed all the way we've done everything now. For years, it's been done a certain way. Now we're doing it the other way. The end result is still the same. It's just really nuanced and it's more transparent and all of those things with the client. So not much has functionally changed. There's just more paperwork
Right.
involved in the process and
More transparency
more
for
transparency
sure.
because of the paperwork involved
Absolutely.
in the thing. So,
Not
anyways,
bad.
it's not bad at all. I totally agree with the settlement. I love it. I love the new way of
Right.
doing
Agreed.
things. Like so, because it was a hard conversation to have before.
Right.
But anyways, that has called into question the MLS's relevance in today's real estate market as far as real estate agency goes. And Compass, which is a large real estate firm, one of the biggest in the country, has decided that they're going to try to squeeze out the MLSs. They haven't publicly said that. They have a three-tiered marketing
Hmm.
approach that they pitch to their clients, which is they start with marketing the property only to Compass agents. And then if they don't sell it to a Compass agent, they market it to just the MLS participants. And then if they can't sell it that way, they put it on the broader public market on websites like Zillow, Realtor.com, those types. Okay. I have yet to hear anybody from Compass or otherwise explain to me why the hell that's good for a client.
That's my question is if I'm your client, please tell me why I want tier one.
And I've actually seen and it's a multifaceted approach. So that it's not like you go into tier one and you stay in tier one. Their whole idea is you move through this process.
Do you get an option?
Yeah. I mean, at the
So
end of the day, yes, you do not have to sign with a Compass
no,
agent.
no.
I don't know whether
Okay.
you have an option to do that or not. I'm not that familiar with it. I have yet to seen a Compass agent or anybody from Compass explain it in a way that makes sense to me.
Agreed.
And I have seen a lot of emails, intercompany emails from Compass that maybe they were sourced. Some of them were sourced. They came from professional news agencies where it's very blatant that Compass is just trying to get both sides of a real estate transaction within
Right.
their brokerage because they make more money that way, which I get. Owning real, I love it when we have both sides, but it's only when it's best for the client that should happen.
Absolutely.
Which means we randomly represent a buyer that is super interested in the property and beats all the other buyers on the open market.
Right.
Um,
Legitimately.
legitimately. So, and ethically. So, anyways, so that's what's going on with Compass
Right.
right now. Zillow then came as a result of the settlement. We have what we call seller's choice with the MLS rules because that's what the whole lawsuit was about. So, we had to change our MLS rules. So now we have to give sellers the option of, we've agreed to do this, which we've always done this in our market, but our market is our market and it wasn't countrywide. Now it's countrywide. You have to sign a buyer's agreement before you go into a house with a real estate
Hmm.
agent now. That spells out certain things. And then from a listing agent standpoint, we have to either list the property office exclusive, which means we're not allowed to market it publicly outside of our office. And you would do that as a seller if you had privacy concerns, like you were Taylor
You're Taylor
Swift
Swift. That's
and
what
you
I was
didn't want
thinking.
people
Right.
walking through your
Right.
house. Okay. The second option is no public marketing or internet marketing. So we can list your house and we can put it on the MLS and send it out to all the other realtors that are participants of the MLS who have buyer
Who
searches
can
set
share
up
it?
and can share it directly with clients they have a
Hmm.
relationship with, but it doesn't get sent to any public websites. Like it doesn't even go on our brokerage website,
Hmm.
right? Because those are all what we call IDX feeds, inner data exchange feeds. And then the uh the third option is put it everywhere. Zillow, agents, in the office, full on public marketing, sign in the yard, the whole
Hmm.
bit.
The most reach.
So Zillow, whose business model is data collection, wants the listings,
Of course.
right? So the MLS said you have those options. We're forced to let you move between those options, which we used to not be able to be allowed to do, even though I think you should be able to, as your choice as a
Hmm.
seller. And so Zillow said, as a company, we're not going to allow a realtor's listing who didn't put it directly into public marketing to come on our website. So Compass's three-tiered approach now excludes every single listing that Compass makes from Zillow,
Mhm.
which is the number one home search tool for
Mhm.
buyers. Compass is suing them because they're claiming that Zillow is violating antitrust law by doing that. What say you?
I say if I'm Zillow, I'm doing the same thing.
Right?
So
But they have a point. Like, if you don't want to list it with me to
I'm
begin
like
with,
I'm like
then you ain't listing it
I'm
with
like on
me.
the that's like
Like,
being on the B list for the wedding. After they get the
exactly.
RSVPs from the first round, if not enough people are coming, then you get invited. No, I'll just stay home.
Right.
So Zillow's
Well,
saying
and
no,
to
thank
me,
you.
it's ironic that Zillow or that Compass is suing Zillow for antitrust violations because if holding a listing from public
Right,
marketing
right,
isn't an anti-competitive behavior, I don't know what is.
right.
I mean, like, I have a feeling it's all going to blow up in their face real fast, but what do I know? I'm just
No,
Chad from O'Fallon, Missouri.
right. No. On the surface, though, it doesn't feel like it's in the best interest of the public.
It's not.
Again, a very small portion of the public who doesn't want their stuff
You
out
should have
there.
the option.
Yes, up front.
But you, as a
You
company
do. Yeah,
owner,
right.
our clients have that option.
Absolutely.
And we explain to you that you have that option. We do
Mhm.
not have to put your listing out there publicly, and we absolutely can still sell your
Right.
house. If you have a reason, I don't even care what the reason
So,
is.
you know,
You have a reason and you ask me to do that, we'll do it all day long. But you're going to need to ask us to do that because that's not going to get you the best
right,
dollar
right.
the fastest,
And that's what I
no
love.
matter how big we become.
Our DBA is trifecta because it got to be the client, the brokerage, and the agent. You can't sway it to one. That's just all swayed to the brokerage.
Yeah.
Let's try to sell it in-house first so we make the most amount of money. That is not for the client.
You want to take out odds who wins that lawsuit?
No, because I've been wrong before, even though I am the gambler.
I know, right? Come on.
Let's go straight up odds.
I'm going to put my money on Zillow just because I
Yeah.
think their intentions are purer, which is, I'm like, on Zillow, but they do own half of the real estate industry and they do have a good home search tool. And that's where, like,
I hope that Zillow wins.
Yeah.
And can't believe that came out of my mouth.
that was
But-
another one that comes up quite often too. Homes.com is doing a really big push right now because Zillow has their shit
are.
tied up in
They
this
call me like 5
lawsuit.
times a day.
I know, and the rep has been in the office twice in the last week.
Brilliant.
And they sent this desperate letter out to every licensee that like bashing Zillow and saying how they're awful and, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, here's an idea, Homes.com. How about you take some of this marketing money that you're using and put it into R&D and figure out why the fuck everybody wants to search for homes on Zillow instead of Homes.com.
Right.
That might be a good idea.
Hopefully at the end, it's just gonna bring us back to where we needed to be in the beginning. Because Zillow's a little too big for their britches, and Compass is a little too big for their britches, and they both need to sit down.
And remember who the hell they're serving.
That's the point. That is the point.
So
it's about the
dumb.
client.
It's so dumb.
Good
I get
topic.
all riled up about that stuff, but at the end of the day, it doesn't affect what I do
I
ever,
know.
which is funny. It just is, but it's dumb. It aggravates me when people get so involved in themselves that it's like, and that's what they're both doing.
Well, it's also not good for our clients
No.
when they're not seeing everything
Not
that's
good
for sale.
Yes.
So,
100%.
so it does get you riled up. We want our buyers to have access to everything that's for sale too.
I know.
So, if we just ran the world,
I know, and a Compass owner would tell you, "We'll come work for Compass," and they will. And
it's
now,
absolutely their
and now
recruiting.
my retort to that is, well, no, they won't, because that listing apparently ain't going nowhere. Because if you don't think that Zillow.com wins that lawsuit, that Realtor.com and Homes.com and the rest of them are going to follow suit, you got a whole nother thing coming. Every single one of those companies relies on us giving them the MLS data. Every single one. That's the funny part to me is these people all forget who's actually in control.
Right.
And then we have these dumb conversations about whether the association's relevant or not. That's who's controlling this whole shit show right now. It's relevant. All I'm saying. Anyways, that's enough of that for the week.
All right. What could possibly go wrong?
What happened this week, Annie?
Well, we had an interesting situation with one of our listings. We have a house that smells like cigarette smoke. And interesting because I learned a lot this week about cigarette smoke. I grew up in the time when everybody smoked in their house, and it's interesting to me how I don't remember ever thinking that when I walked into someone's house that it smelled like cigarette smoke. So we have an agent that listed a house that smelled like cigarette smoke, did her pre-listing stuff, walked through, told the client what to do. They changed out the carpet. They painted the house. They moved out. All their stuff is gone. All those, soft surfaces that we thought would be, the smell would be lingering. And it smells every bit as bad as it did when they were still living there with all of the, and still smoking. Um, so what I learned this week is sometimes we have to go back and reevaluate that. So now we have a house that should have sold first weekend, priced well, 3-bed, 2-bath ranch. And it's not moving at all. And all of the input is how bad the smoke smell is. So, together with the agent, we've done a lot of research on what do you do to get rid of the smoke. And yeah, it's pretty interesting. We had to call in actually a company that comes in for restoration when you have smoke damage. So now we're kind of at a point with the client because they really don't want to do any of those things.
What were those things?
Have the HVAC ducts, all of that clean because that's just recirculating every
Yeah.
time those turn on. Have the entire house top to bottom professionally cleaned because apparently that smoke residue lives on all those hard surfaces.
Yeah,
And
that's why they turn yellow.
and repaint the walls. Repaint the walls with a primer, a better primer, a different primer that they recommend to kill that smell.
Or they painted ones already.
They
But they did
did.
not use a primer, like
N- eh,
kills or anything like
Right.
that underneath
And they
of
had
it.
it and they had it cleaned once before too, but not to the same level that you would do it if you knew it was a house that had been smoked in for years and years heavily. So now we're just at the point of what is the client going to do? Because we're not going to sell this house as it is at the price that it is without addressing the smoke. And um, time is not getting rid of the smoke. It smells like smoke as much as today as it did a month ago.
Can they lower the price?
They don't want to lower the price. I don't know how much we would lower the price to make a big impact. I mean, we're not even getting offers. It's not even like somebody saying, "Hey, it smells like smoke. I'm gonna offer you 10,000 less." It's gonna cost about probably $3,000 to $5,000 to do all of those other things. So right now, the agent is advising the client on, we can stay the route we are, and wait for the right buyer that won't bother because there probably is somebody out there that smell would not bother. Maybe there's
Yeah, I
another
mean, I walked through
smoker.
the house, didn't smell that smoky to
As a
me.
smoker, it
So
wouldn't bother you, right?
I don't know that it would. I mean, it smelled funky, but I wouldn't have called it smoke.
Yeah. They could give a credit and let the buyer do it afterwards. Or they have to do those things. Those are just the options that they have right now. So it was just interesting because, the agent did all the things to advise them prior to, and it was just, I can't believe in all the houses that you and I have listed in all of our years of real estate, we have never had a house that smelled like cigarette smoke. Can you think of one?
No,
Yeah.
not cigarette smoke. We've had some funky smells in houses that we couldn't get rid of,
Well,
but
we finally got rid of them. Sometimes you just have to keep. You do. We had the house that we lovingly refer to as the cat poop house, and
Right.
once we found it, we fixed it. So that's part of the problem is finding exactly what is going to be the fix, and it sounds like it's going to be all those things. So it's tough, but that was interesting because that's a first.
problem is you've already been on the market for,
Absolutely,
so now there's a story.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's 100% the feedback. It's every single showing is, oh my God, the smell is overwhelming. It knocks you down when you walk in the door. This is where it's interesting as the agent because your job is to get the house sold.
Yeah.
So now you're just advising your client on what their options are, and they're going to have to pick.
I have to say I'd give that client, and maybe they already have, but like I said, I walked through the house. The curb appeal is not great. So you do not have a good first impression, and then the smell hits you. So
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah, I would argue though that
I
people
will-
get past curb appeal. We'd have offers. It's the smoke
I
smell.
know, but I'm saying it's combined with the two. So I'm
But we already
wondering.
have.
I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm just giving a suggestion.
We already have a client that doesn't want to spend any more money. So
I know,
any money
but
we're
they're
going
not
to
going to be
spend.
able to do that. So then we should just let that listing go if they're not willing to invest in that, because we've clearly tried. And while you say wait for a buyer that comes along that doesn't bother, I don't know that exists.
I don't need,
I've
apparently
never
it's,
had a known of a buyer. I mean, and you represent the buyers. Did you ever have a buyer that wasn't bothered by smells?
sure. We've sold houses that have smelled like other things that, that come along. So no, I just think that we
At the
have to,
top of the market, though, those things were in the prices
although,
of the
yeah.
home.
And I understand what you're saying, but right
Yeah.
now the only focus we have is get rid of the smell. I don't know that we need to be distracted by other things that we think might be affecting showings, but the
Well, if
smell is
they're
the
less
issue.
expensive, I think part of our job as real estate agents is to distract from the things that maybe are not so great about a house. That's why we stage houses.
Sure.
You walk into a house and you get a feeling, and all of a sudden you go nose blind and sight blind.
You need to revisit this house. I don't think you go
Maybe
nose
not.
blind.
I went,
But it
yeah,
is empty.
it was,
You're-
and
but
I
you're
was
not wrong.
right.
It is
I was
vacant.
right after I went right after they had painted, and the carpets were still in the house when I went.
Right.
So
They were,
those
yeah,
had not been replaced yet. And so like there was a smell. I did not smell it through the whole house. I smelled it mainly in the master or the primary suite. And then the basement a lot was a funky smell. Also wouldn't have described the basement as smoke, but I could see it now that you've called that out. I can be like,
yeah.
oh yeah, that was
Was the
smoke.
basement done already?
It was not
Oh.
done. So I don't know, I don't have
By
the
the
first
time- yeah.
impression, but I will tell you when you walk up to that house, it just doesn't have a great. So like from a marketing standpoint, part of our job as realtors is putting together the marketing plan for the property, and part of that is presenting the product that you're selling.
Sure.
And so the smell plays into that, but that's only one facet of the entire thing. And so that house is also vacant. There
Right.
is a jungle that was a garden, but they've been gone for a while now, so it's getting overgrown and things like that. It was a really cute garden, and actually could have been a cool feature of the house for the right buyer. In the back, it's like what is there, 8 or 9 raised garden
I'm not
beds?
sure. It's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of raised garden beds in the back. So if you're somebody that wants to grow their own food and vegetables and stuff like that, it's perfect for you. It's in the middle of O'Fallon, but it's got a farm in the backyard. And it even had enough room for a cute little like fire pit off to the one side with that too. So the yard is fairly decent size, but it doesn't have a lot of curb appeal. And then it's empty, which is never good, no matter what the house smells like. So I don't know if those things would be less expensive. I think you could put a better foot forward
Yeah, those were
than
all
making the big investment.
And in hindsight, and I'm not trying to go back to,
Well, no, that's how we
what we
learn.
could have done, but
That's how you
all
learn.
those conversations were had. It's just not how they wanted to do
Yeah.
it. But just thought we could get past the smell, and that's not happening.
Yeah.
So that's really the sticking point right now. I think we get rid of the smell. I think the other things, I think we'll sell that house. So there we are. So there's the lesson: don't smoke in your house.
Or if you're going to smoke in your house, have the budget to clean it up, one or the other.
Yeah.
Either way will work,
Yep.
right? What the floop?
What the floop?
Oh my God, Annie, do you see this? On Facebook, what I saw.
What?
It's on the screen right now. I'm going to show it to you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
If you're an agent renting a home, you shouldn't be allowed to give advice on a home ownership. Shouldn't even be licensed.
I saw it.
Can you believe that somebody posted that online? I mean, what the floop?
I saw it.
What the literal floop? Do you know how dumb that statement is? I mean, it's just dumb. Don't you think it's dumb?
I think it's absolutely insane.
Seriously. Why?
What does me owning my own home have anything to do with my ability to represent you in a real estate transaction?
Right.
I may have a million reasons I don't own a home.
Have you ever been to a male gynecologist?
Actually.
I mean, like, seriously, it's the same statement. I swear to God, if that person has ever been to a male gynecologist, because it was a woman, even though we've redacted the names to protect the lives of the innocent here on Waking
Right.
Up to Win, I'm going to knock her upside the head.
Yeah.
Because that man has no business having a license to check your hoo-ha if he doesn't have one. That's what you just said.
It is. It's insane
Why do people post stupid shit online?
to get a reaction like this, maybe.
Why? What benefit is that?
No, and how many realtors felt really bad about themselves for a minute, thinking, "Oh wow,
What?
I never thought of that."
That's terrible. Why has that not occurred to me?
I know. Oh, because that's an empathetic.
An empathetic. The post is pathetic.
Yeah.
That's true. No, I know several realtors that are renting because they're saving money or whatever. They're in between jobs. I mean, you don't know why somebody is renting, first of all.
You could also have somebody who owns $1 million house and be a shitty ass realtor because they don't understand.
Oh, right. How they got their $1 million house,
Well,
mommy
doesn't
and
it-
daddy bought it for them.
Well, they don't understand what a real estate transaction entails. It
just
has
makes
nothing
me
to do with it.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's so dumb.
I don't even
it
have
takes
any
me
more
back
words.
to. It takes me back to. It takes me back to the dads. That book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, with
Oh.
Robert Kiyosaki.
Kiyosaki.
I always want to call him Suzuki for some reason.
You said
Robert-
Kiyosaki, really weird.
What's his name?
That's it, Kiyosaki.
Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad. He says your house that you live in is actually a liability, not
Correct.
an asset,
Right.
because you have to maintain it and it doesn't create any cash flow.
But
And
either way,
cash
this is all
flow-
irrelevant too.
But I'm saying cash flow is the answer to wealth. And like, to your point, what is that? I mean, whether you're wealthy or not really has nothing to do with whether you should be a licensed real estate agent or not either. But I just like,
I think that
this
they
blows my
probably
mind. Like, I guess I thought that they meant because they haven't figured out how to buy their own house yet.
Wow.
They're renting and
No, yeah.
that disqualifies them. I think that was the motive there. But
I think that there is a lot of things in this world that you would look at. You know, you wouldn't go take. I wouldn't learn how to stop smoking if my
counselor was
coach was smoking at the
lighting up.
time, or it's hard to take weight loss tips from a 500-pound person. So I'm trying to see their other side, like how they thought it. They just didn't think it all the way through. It might have been like a 2 a.m. drunk
like
post.
one more step further. Oh, we can tell that. What time was that posted? Let's see. 11:11 a.m.
Nope. Sober.
Oh
Not.
my God. I took that screenshot at 11:11 a.m. Those are all ones.
They
You
are.
realize that, right? And by I mean Mandy took this screenshot at 11:11 a.m. because we all know I do not do this shit.
That's funny. But it's insulting and it's stupid.
It is. And I personally know this person. And it honestly doesn't surprise me that she posted it.
Okay,
Just
well, we're
saying.
going to, again, protect the names of the
I know. The
idiots.
idiots. It's been real this week, Annie. Can't wait till next. All right, that's a wrap on another week of chaos closings and questionable decisions.
If this episode made you laugh, think, or text your real estate bestie like, girl, this is us, do us a favor.
Hit that subscribe button, leave a quick review, follow us on socials, or send us your own unhinged real estate stories. Seriously, we want to share them.
And hey, don't just survive this week. Get out there and build your business.
You've got everything it takes.
We'll be back next week with more chaos and more clarity.
Until then,
Keep waking up to win.